Please welcome Jordan Rudess and the Rowland VR-700 V Combo.
This was a cool piece for me to write in the sense that, you know, I got to do my Prague thing with lots of meters and lots of fun like that. But I also got to think a little bit more in terms of the organ type of thing, which for those of you who know me, you know, I play all different types of instruments, and I certainly play my share of organ sounds. A lot of times they're quite crunchy with Dream Theater. But, you know, there's nothing like a solid you know, organ instrument. And this thing is really, really amazing. What's really nice about it is that, well, first of all, you know, during that piece, you may have been wondering how I was changing timbres or changing sounds as I go. That's one of the most popular questions to me. And it's a little bit more subtle in this environment when I'm playing an organ thing, but you could hear that the timbre was changing. And this instrument lets you plug a pedal into the control input, and then you can assign it to a lot of different things. But one of the things you can assign it to is to go through what we call favorites, or different patches. So if I'm playing along and if I hit the pedal, hit it again. So kind of a hands-free environment. And that's definitely, you know, when I'm playing Here For You and I'm playing in Dream Theater, I definitely like to keep my hands free. So being able to do that with the pedal is really kind of key for me. And one thing that's very nice is it remembers, if I have a sound and I've got the rotary on slow, or if I've got it on fast, when I save the patch, it'll remember that. So when I go back to that, it's at the speed that you want. So, you know, there's also I don't know what you can see over there, but there's some really cool and very traditional drawbars here, so you can do the you know, the real organ. Take off the percussion. And it's very, very smooth. I've played a lot of, you know, the NAMM emulations everywhere, you know, that people have released over the years. And a lot of times when you're moving the drawbars, it's wow, they're lagging and they're doing this and that. You don't feel that at all. It's completely, you know, using this, it completely feels like you're one with the drawbars, and they'll do what you want them to do, which is cool. You forget that it's you know, a digital instrument. So another thing that's very, very cool about this is the things that are on the front panel are things that you want to get to very fast, and they're very clear, they're easy to see. I hate instruments that you look at and you go, wow, I want to move the rotary, but where's the button, and where's the vibrato, and where's this? Everything is very viewable. The things you want are right there in front of you. Do you want percussion? There's a little area that says percussion. You can turn it on soft, which is kind of this effect. Louder. You change the harmonic, second or third. And of course, you remember that with this type of organ sound, if you play legato, it's not gonna do it. But this is totally true if I articulate. For those of you who are trying to develop your technique, I recommend putting on a full amount of percussion and playing scales, and if they sound like this, you're doing something wrong. So, or if you want to practice your legato, but that's another day. That's another class. That's not a Rowland class. So let's move right along. So one thing that's very cool also is you can get to those parameters right on the front panel, but if you want to go a little bit deeper and you want to change the volume of your percussion, you want to change the speed of your percussion, you want to change the key click, you want to turn the click way up, you know, you can go in, and there are button presses that you can do. They're pretty easy, that you can adjust your sound and get it truly the way you want it. You can adjust things like leakage, all the organ player stuff. You can get inside this and do it. And I think what's going to happen with this instrument is that because there are many favorites that you can get to, when you take this thing out of the box and you play it, it's going to have all the cool sounds. And a lot of us who are playing gigs, you know, we'll bring this out, and you'll never, you know, all you'll do is say, I want to go to this number, and you'll be like, that's my sound, or that's it. So it's going to be pretty trouble-free, I think. So those things are really, really cool. Another thing I should mention is that it's really not just organ. You've got a lot of the classic kind of Rowland ROM in here. each sound that you select, you have different choices. There's even nice piano. You know, you can do, well, I can show you some other little things here. We can do like a split type of world. Put that in the lower. So a lot of the Roland ROM is in here. One of my favorite things to do is to use the D-beam. You know, the Roland products these days, a lot of them have this D-beam, and it's really an awful lot of fun. So I'll go into the bank that I kind of saved a few sounds that that use that. And this one, yes, ring mod. Yeah, so this is really, I love this sound. And it's really awesome. What happens is you're able to put ring modulation and control it from the D-beam. So it's kind of like a theremin vibe. So as you're playing, you know. So theremin players, you can have a very great party and really, you know, I don't have the theremin technique necessarily. I'm just having a really good time. But, yeah, but it's cool. You can do the thing. You know, I think a lot of times it's hard to make those sounds like, you know, appealing in a cool kind of way. And I think that Roland has done a great job of like totally dialing that in. So as soon as you start hitting it, it's like, wow, that's cool. So that's a good thing. The other thing that's part of what makes this cool, especially for me, who's involved in some very serious rocking with my group Dream Theater, is the ability to have like distortion. Now you want to be able to turn up the gain with a nice easy knob, and this instrument has just that. You know, there's a gain knob, so if I want to rock, I can. Kind of turn it up to 11, you know, get the full maximum distortion, or 12 in Dream Theater. The guys rely on me to play some very nasty, distorted keyboard sounds. I actually had this in the studio the other day, and I couldn't really tell them a whole lot about it. This instrument just kind of appeared, so it wasn't really supposed to be seen. Don't be mad at me, Roland. But I wanted to use it. I thought it was really, really cool. So I took a few things in the studio. Not my usual setup of having like keyboards everywhere, but I took some things, you know. I had like my mini Moog over there and had this and a couple other unmentionables. But yeah, so I took this, and sure enough, you know, I put my hand on it. And everybody's like, yes, that's cool. I was like, I know, it's very cool. You know? It's a little intense, but that's the kind of thing, you know, I do. Some wild and crazy sounds, and I got to come up with them. So, you know, in Dream Theater, I'm the orchestra, the choir, the distorted sounds. I'm playing piano, I'm running sound effects, and I'm underpaid. I mean, come on. Keyboard players, I'm telling you. They just don't understand. Anyway, so enough of that. So this is a cool effect. You know, you've seen like my buddy Mr. Emerson in the day, and even today he's, you know, playing it. Come on back, baby. There you go. Yeah, it's kind of like, you know, turning the power off on the Hammond. It's exactly what it is. So now it should come back, please. Thank you. Yeah, that's the effect we want. It's exactly the effect we want.